everyone! Welcome to another episode of Girl Talk. This is your host, Andrea. So last month, we started our self-love series wherein we featured different inspiring womenpreneurs in the beauty industry here in Cebu. And for the month of December, we are launching another series. It's called Women Leaders Beyond Politics, and I'm very excited to welcome our first guest for this series. She is one phenomenal woman, and I would say pang girl crush level yun nga woman leader. We will reveal who she is when you turn here at Girl Talk.
Ingon ni Mami na kanang nagunsa ka today. Wala raman. Gana ka mo ba nako matupog Liloan? Ko adi ay.
Welcome back to Girl Talk. So as mentioned, we are so honored to be in the presence of a very beautiful woman inside and out. She is a lawyer. She is also a former law professor, the president of the League of Municipalities of the Philippines, or LMP Cebu chapter, and a national vice president of LMP in the country, the wife of 5th District Representative Duke Frasco, and of course, the very hard-working mayor of Liloan, Mayor Christina Garcia Frasco. Hi, Mayor. Thank you so much for joining us here in this episode of Girl Talk. So, Mayor Christina, I'm sure that you've already had interviews here at My TV Cebu, that was at Open Mic, and Sir Bobit Avila for Straight from the Sky. But this time, this is different because as what I've mentioned, this is women in governance but beyond politics. So we will be talking about your life as a woman, as a mother, and as a wife. So let's start in chronological order, Mayor.
Okay.
Can you tell us about your childhood? So how was it like growing up, especially that your grandfather was the governor of Cebu back then? Unsay feeling ato nga mga times?
Yes. Well, first of all, thank you for inviting me to be on your show. I'm very honored to be here and very happy as always to represent the beautiful town of Liloan.
Yes.
I had a very simple and happy childhood. First, I lived here in Cebu with my grandparents, former Governor Pablo Garcia and former Judge Esperanza Garcia. After that, I moved to Ormoc, where my parents were based for around 10 years. So dito ko nag-grade school, dito ko nag-high school.
Sa Ormoc.
Yes, and it was a very outdoorsy childhood. Dami pirmi sa gawas, magdudua, kauban sa mga igsuon. Oh yeah, definitely. You know, magduwa og kuan kanang tabanog, you know, kat-kat og kahoy.
Naka-experience gid ka ana.
Kana tanan gyud. Batulata unsa pay bisag unsa pang klase na games amo nang giduwa no growing up. So I never felt that you know, in a sense we were anything that fragile tungod kay, you know, apo sa gobernador, or at the time even my grandfather on my father's side was also the mayor of Ormoc City, no? My parents always made us feel that whatever privileges we had to earn it. And that is why growing up we actually worked for our family business. So kada usa na mga igsuon tulo mi kabuok na naka-assign na duties and responsibilities yun kada uli gikan sa eskwelahan.
What was your frequent assignments at that time?
I was assigned to our ice plant.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. So mag-ihap sa inventory sa ice blocks sulod sa katong dako kaayo na chiller, no, wearing that very thick winter jacket. Ipon siya ang ending inventory, yung mag-cash count sa sales for the day. Unya, kada Saturday, imbes na magtumi sa balay sa among mga classmate or unsa, unless there was a school activity, we had to be at the office kay payroll. So tabang o panwildo sa mga tao. So
You were trained at a very young age pag ay.
yes. And so, we never felt na we were sheltered in a sense na murag spoiled or unsa no, because as I mentioned earlier, our parents taught us to earn our place in this world by working hard. Yes.
How about with regards to your grandmother? What was your fondest memories of Judge Inday?
Well, Lola Inday was very fond of playing the piano. In fact, had she not gone to law school to become a lawyer, she would have been a concert pianist. Magito
Really?
niya ingon namo no. Maunang every summer, bisag ni move na ko dito sa Ormoc, nagi ko din sa Cebu. Because she insisted that I take piano lessons diri sa Cebu, so I'd spend the summer with her. That was one of my fondest memories because it brought us closer together. I'd spend so much time with her. She would be very focused on ensuring na kanang I'd get the proper education as far as playing the piano was concerned. And second, she was very much into the arts. So og plantita sadto siya.
Mo nag-iingon nga mga original plant lolas pag yun.
Correct. And that is why I think Morocco, I gained that influence from her. I met a lot of artists from Cebu because of Lola Inday, and she introduced me to the early works of Cebuano painters, and hilig kito siya orchids. So munang na-adapt sad siguro na nako ni hilig of orchids. Yeah, and I think si Mami sad Governor Gwen hilig sa gyud kay siya og plants. So that's a very fond and happy group of memories that I have of Lola Inday.
So you'd also call yourself a plantita mayor?
I believe so.
Even before this whole plant parenting craze?
Yeah. Honestly, nagsugod gid siya sa akong first term as mayor. No, I was decorating my office, the office of the mayor sa municipal hall, which used to be the office of then Mayor Duke Frasco.
Yeah.
Kunya, mahibong na lang si Duke na months into my term, or 2 years, at abot na sa 3rd year kong term, nang tikadaghan na ang tanom sa sud sa akong opisina.
Ngayon mo ng jungle.
Ano naman, iglasang diri. Uy. And I found that, I found a lot of refuge in plants.
Yeah.
I found that the more stressed I was, the more plants there were in my office. Because it had both a physical and psychological positive impact on me. So, hantod karon,
Plantita
whether
gihapon.
it's in the house or in the office. Certified plantita.
Of Cebu. Mayor, ganina you mentioned about your Lola Inday's piano skills. How's your piano skills now? Okay, nagsubaybay ako sa imong mga ukulele videos on Facebook.
Cause I can't reach out to call you, but I know I will one day. Everybody hurts sometimes, everybody hurts someday.
Well, it's been quite some time since I fully played
The piano?
An entire piano piece. I studied the piano from the time that I was 6 until I was 16.
Wow,
Yes,
10 years.
10 years. Oo. So, karon si Sofia, my eldest girl, she's the one who's taking up an interest in the piano. So, I try to teach her, starting with the classics.
Yeah.
I never became as good at playing the piano as my lola was, but munang mag-ukulele na lang ko.
How about when it comes to Governor Gwen, Mayor? How is she as a mom? What was her parenting style? Would you say that she was a strict mother, disciplinarian ba siya? Because of course, no, kaming mga constituents of the province of Cebu, makita man gid nato kung unsa gid ka fierce as a leader si Governor Gwen. Is she the same way as a mother?
Well, yes, in a sense that my mom always set a very high standard for us, and absolutely insisted that in every activity, in every task, in every subject,
Yeah.
in every challenge, we must give it our best, or ay na lang. No? So, at the time, syempre, bata ka, lisod. But, you know, from when I was a young girl until I was in law school,
Yeah.
I realized that it was because of her exacting standards, her belief in our potential to become who we are, you know, that pushed me in
Yeah.
particular, to overcome all the hurdles and challenges that I faced, and ultimately become a lawyer, and also ultimately become mayor of Liloan. So I really am grateful for the kind of upbringing that my parents gave me, and the standards po na giset po ni mommy, no? Only because those are the standards that she sets for herself. No? To never be mediocre.
Yeah.
And to always try to achieve the level of excellence that will honor the gifts that the Lord has given you.
And I really like what you said, nga imong gi-share, Mayor, nga always give it your best or never mind, diba? I also remember my dad always tell me na if mo invest naman lang gani kag time doing one thing, nihatag naman siya kasi mong oras, tarungan na lang jud siya buhat.
Exactly. Oh, good.
Back then, with regards to your education, Mayor, would you remember if Governor Gwen was particular with your grades in school?
Very particular. Makuyawan kay kog maayo every time gawas ang report cards. Kay she was very particular. But again, no, honestly speaking, had my mom not been very strict as far as us doing well in school,
Yeah.
you know, maybe I would not have become a lawyer, you know, because I think these things, Manggod, it's ingrained in you.
Yeah.
No, when you go off to college, nobody can force you to study. Especially when you go to law school. When you're really of age, nagyod mo
Yeah.
makapugos nimo na magtuon ka. It is a culture that's ingrained in you. It is a sense of self-discipline
Tinood.
that can only come from your upbringing.
Yeah, no. How about with regards to your education in terms of your course? Unsa imong pre-law nga course, Mayor?
Yes, I took up management, major in legal management.
Where?
In the Ateneo de Manila University.
In Manila?
Yes,
Okay.
in the Loyola campus in
But
Quezon
you
City.
already had an idea nga mag-lawyer gid ko at the time when you were younger.
No, actually, when I was much younger, I wanted to be either a painter or a ballerina.
Ah, really?
Yes.
Do you still want to pursue that dream?
I still paint.
You still paint?
Yeah, I still paint every once in a while. And then it was only in high school na where the path was more defined. Where I would take up legal management and eventually go to law school.
What led you to that dream nga mag-law school ka, Mayor? Was it the influence of your family members in governance and in law? Kana ba siya? Or was it just like personal or gina nimo siya nga kuan?
Yes. Two things. First, definitely the influence of my family. On my mother's side, it's an entire family of lawyers. No? Practically, both my grandparents were lawyers. My uncles are lawyers. And, when I was a child and we would come here to Cebu, we would spend time in the law office of Lolo Pabling,
Yeah.
Tito Winston, Tito Pablo John at the time. And I could see that they had the gift and the ability to help people because they were lawyers. No? We can all help in certain capacities, no? But them being lawyers gave them that, privilege to help in a certain way. Na dako yung matabang sa mga tao. Ikaduha, growing up in Ormoc,
Yeah.
no, my father's family was in politics, no. And of course, I was exposed also to politics diri sa Cebu, akong lolo. And the overarching principle that both sides of my family taught us was service. And I felt that becoming a lawyer would allow me to serve in a way that would have the most effect, and would have the most impact.
In a nutshell, Mayor, tell us about your life after you passed the bar exam. So, unsa imong first gisudlan? Did you immediately enter into a law firm? You also taught at USC, and what was the other school gani, Mayor?
USJR.
USJR, yes.
Yeah.
So, unsay story ana sa imong after pagkapasar nimo sa bar?
Yes. After I passed the bar, I actually stayed in Manila for some time. My first job was at Puno and Puno law offices. No, that was in Ortigas at the time. And shortly thereafter, I was pirated to join Romulo Mabanta.
Ah, yes.
Buenaventura, Sayok, and Los Angeles. A law firm based in Makati, no? And from that time until before I ran for mayor, I was with Romulo Mabanta. So, almost 10 years of my life was actually with Romulo.
What's the usual cases na hindi pang-handle dito, Mayor?
Yes. Well, my specialization was quite varied, but mostly focused on international arbitration, commercial litigation, and of course, the litigation involved in the cases of Governor Gwen at the time. No? After that, as fate would have it, no, after the 2007 elections, where I lawyered for my family in Cebu, unya ni-attend ko sa inauguration ni Governor Gwen for her second term. Duke, at the time, had just won his first term as mayor. He was invited to the inauguration. I met Duke.
Yeah.
And a little over a year, no? After that, mo na to ni balik na ko diri sa Cebu.
But at the same
My heart
time,
called me back to Cebu.
So pagbalik nimo sa Cebu, that was when you started teaching, or
Yes.
you were juggling?
Pagbalik na ko sa Cebu, that was the
okay.
time when I started teaching. I taught several law subjects in the College of Law.
For how long,
in
Mayor?
USC. 8 years?
Wow.
Yeah, around 8 years. Cumulatively.
I actually heard a lot of good feedback about you as a teacher.
Strict.
So I just want to hear it also from you yourself, Mayor. How would you describe yourself as a teacher? Stricta ba ka? Manghagbong kag estudyante, Mayor?
Well, for me, I think that teachers have the obligation and the duty to make their students better than what they were when they first entered your class. And that was a responsibility that I took very seriously, which is why I was also quite exacting as far as the standards that I set in my classroom, believing that the reason why na-academy sa law school is because you have the potential to become a lawyer, and so you must rise to that potential by putting in the hard work. So I have very good memories of
Really?
Teaching. In fact, I really miss teaching. No, I felt that it was such a productive time for me. Ambot lang akong mga estudyante, gimingaw ba sila nako sa
For
akong
sure.
kasekta.
Thank you, kaayo, Mayor Christina. We will pause for a short break, and up next, we will be talking about Mayor Christina's family life as a mother and as a wife when we return here at Girl Talk. Welcome back to Girl Talk, and now we are going to get more up close and personal with Mayor Christina Garcia Frasco. We will be talking about her life as a mother and as a wife. Pero like ganina, Mayor, chronological order, let's start with your love story with Congressman.
Juicy.
Asa man mo nag-meet? Unsa man ang beginning yun? Ang teleserye sa inyong love story.
Yes. We met at the inauguration of my mother, Governor Gwen, for her second term as governor. At tong panahon na, 2007, bag-ora ko ni pasar sa bar exams. Unya, bag-ora sad na elected si Duke as mayor of the municipality of Liloan, no? On his first term.
Yeah.
And, customarily, tanan mga mayors, imbitado man gyud sa inauguration, no? So, that was June 30, 2007,
Wow.
when I walked into the conference room of the governor's office, and I saw this very striking and handsome young man
Tall, dark, and handsome ba yan si
Kana,
Kuan?
hinapay pa imo, nindot tayo. I approached, no, because I saw my uncle, si Mayor Marlon Garcia, no. Di pa siya mayor at the time, but I saw him and so I greeted him, and he was the one who introduced me to Duke, no. Subsequent to that, as fate would have it, no, ni Atoko the next day, si Mommy was invited to his inauguration as mayor. And pag-ingon ni Mommy na kanang nagunsa ka today, wala man, gana ka mo ba nako matukog Liloan? Ko adi ay? Magunsa ka dito. Ingon din si Mommy na mo-attend ko sa inauguration sa bagong mayor, Mayor Duke Frasco. Ko, okay, sige, I'll go with you. So, attend ko, no? And I just witnessed the inauguration. Human, as fate would have it, on the third day, niyato kog Ayala, kauban sa akong brother, his wife, Michelle, my nephew, nagduwa ni sa time zone ba to or some arcade there. Unya, we ran into Duke.
Destiny, yun
Hi, hello, inana. Until eventually Duke reached out to my brother Paulo and asked if pwede ba ko no na himuon ko niyang legal consultant of Liloan, the moves. So, Paulo told me, and I emailed him my resume, no, per his interest. Unya, nag-email sa siya na ako siyang resume.
Unsa man niyang i-apply as?
Ay, maal bitaw. So, it started out as actually a professional working relationship. And I was very happy to assist Liloan pro bono in their legal queries. And at the time, I was still living in Manila, practicing as a lawyer. So, we started out as friends. First as kanang colleagues, kay I was working as his consultant, and then we became friends, and it developed from there.
For how many months did it run until you were finally officially together as a couple?
I would say maybe like more than siguro mga 6-7 months. Yeah.
But if you talk about that first encounter, Mayor, do you talk about it? Would you ask each other if there was like an instant attraction during the first time that you met?
Ang tinuod adto gyud. Actually, before ko nisud sa conference room sa government, nagkagubot na ang mga tao dito. Kay, uy, na ang mayor sa Liloan, na. Gwapo ko na kaayo, manimo na. And then, pag-approach na ko, pag-introduce ni Tito Marlon ako niya, I had also previously read about him in the news as having won as mayor. So, taas kayo akong litania, no? Oh, it's so nice to meet you. I'm so impressed by the fact that you came home all the way from the US and sacrificed your career to run for mayor, blah, blah, blah. And then, yan tubag, thank you. Speechless. So, I think, murag koan, the attraction was definitely there, no? But at the same time, I think we were also both very attracted to each other's drive, ambition, and I'm happy that I met Duke at a time when we were already established in a sense that we each had our own careers, and on the other hand, we were still growing in a sense that we had just started, our separate lives, building our professional careers, and we really complemented each other in that sense to this day.
Did the both of you go through the Ligawan stage before?
Yes, definitely.
How was he like as a suitor back then? Was he the romantic type?
Yes, very, very, very sweet kayo. Butan gyud, no? He would fly to Manila, actually.
Just to see you?
Yes. Kaya, since I was living in Manila, he would fly to Manila. I would say maybe every other week, or if I had the time, I would fly here to Cebu. Yeah.
How long were you together as boyfriend and girlfriend before you got married, Mayor?
2 years.
2 years.
Yeah. Okay, we got married in 2009.
How is it now, being married to each other? Unsaon ninyo pag-maintain sa spark sa inyong marriage or sa relationship? Because busy gid kayo mo siya sa 5th District, ikaw sa municipality of Liloan. Do you always have time for each other?
Well, we always make time for each other. No? We're both quite busy in our professional careers.
Yeah.
But long before, we have both agreed to always make family our number one priority. So, no matter how busy we get, we try to take the time even to just text or make a phone call, or to save a day in the week where we spend time with each other and spend time with our kids. No, as far as the spark is concerned, it's never it never had to be maintained or revived because it was always there. You know, it's like really a natural thing for us to complement each other and to balance each other out. And most importantly, I think it really proceeds from a mutual respect of the other person.
It's true.
And a recognition of each person's individuality. But at the same time, the need to have a common vision for each other, for your family, and for the future. And that's why I think our relationship works, because we really complement each other and we help each other. We lift each other up, especially in the difficult times.
Speaking of having a common vision for your family, Mayor, when it comes to decision making, unsaan ninyo settle like who usually has the last say in the marriage or in the family?
I think it depends on what the issue is. For example, when it comes to the particulars of the kids, of course, Duke depends on me for that. But at the same time, when it comes to, let's say, the bigger decision requiring, thorough discussion. Kuan yun, amo yun siyang amo yun siyang i-discuss and to make sure na no one in our relationship is left feeling as though wala siya gi-contribute sa relationship or that wala siya say sa relationship or sa family. So, it's a work in progress. Building and growing your family is not easy. Being parents, especially of young children. So we really help each other in that sense.
How do you both bond with each other? Unsa yung typical date night? Do you have time to watch Netflix together or have dinner dates from time to time?
We do Netflix and chill every once in a while.
Okay.
Nasad may mga series na ganahan namang tanawon. We like to watch movies on TV, on Apple TV. And when we get the chance, we like to travel as a family. Pero karon, especially with the situation, so far, we've tried traveling locally together with our kids. And as much as we can to really, have some quality time with each other. So, simple raman, a nice dinner or a home-cooked meal, with our children is quite satisfactory for us already as a date night.
Who's the one who cooks usually? Is it you or
me? I usually cook. But Duke actually is a very good baker. I think he gets it from the family, the Frascos who founded Titay's. Yeah, so mayo kay siya mo bake. And lately, ang hobby niya is to bake sourdough bread. So, swerte kay may tigtilaw sa sourdough every morning.
Now, let's move on to your life as a mom. You are a mother of 3 beautiful kids. Tell us about your labor experience, Mayor. Ang tulo ka kids, puro normal delivery?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Did you ever have a hard time with the 3 ni mga labor experiences with the 3 kids?
I did. Yes.
With whom in particular?
Well, my very first, Sophia, who's now 8, it was a very long labor. Kung makinumdum ko, I think it was maybe more than 12 hours man siguro to. Taod yun. And, being the first experience, I found it very difficult, especially ang postpartum, no?
So you went through PPD?
No, but, partly, I guess. But it was more the physical recovery that I found quite challenging. Yeah. Sa akong second, it was actually quite a breeze, I think.
Mga how many hours, if you can
Dali ra
recall?
kayo. In fact, when I felt the pangs of labor, the night before I gave birth, natug ko sa balay.
Really?
Yeah, gikatug ra nako. And then
gider
pag
siya pa
mata
sa
na
labor
ko,
room?
yeah, pag mata na ko, it was really unbearable na yun. So, nagdali mig nga to sa ER. And then I gave birth 10 minutes later after
Wow!
I arrived in the
Sana
ER.
all.
Yeah, pero gibadlong ko sa akong OB.
Nga naman.
Don't do that again.
Don't sleep through it.
Yeah, and you know, you have to be in a proper facility to go through labor. And then on my third, it was actually the most difficult pregnancy that I had because I learned that I was pregnant with Franco, who's now 3 years old, right after I took my oath as mayor of Liloan.
Okay.
So for the first 6 months of my pregnancy, I was mayor. And you know, being a first termer, I was quite, you know, overwhelmed and stressed with all the challenges, no. So I experienced kanang premature labor.
Okay.
Yes, every day, no.
Really?
That prompted my doctor to require me to be on bed rest.
For how long?
Mabot siguro mga over 3 months or mabot og 4 months. Yeah, around 4 months. But thankfully at the time, si Duke was the vice mayor of Liloan.
Yeah.
So it was not a difficult transition no, when I was on bed rest. Pero ang nakaligre kay when the OB told me that I had to be on bed rest, I actually cried.
Really?
Yes.
Ano man?
Even si Duke nako na, "Kibo ka, ikaw ra akong nailhan." When told that you don't have to work because you have to rest and relax
Yeah.
for like 3 or 4 months, wala ka. Because wala lang yung kunaanad sad ba, no? Because from when I was a kid until my adult life, I was used to working. So it was quite a shock to the system, but it ended up also being a time to bond with my 2 young
The two
kids. Yeah.
What is the greatest struggle that you would say you've experienced as a parent? What's your greatest challenge as a mom?
Well, I think that first of all, mothers play a fundamental role in the rearing of our kids. You know? And there are things that mothers possess, you know, strengths and influences that we have over our children that are unique to us. You know? Honestly, lisod i-balance ang life being a working mother and trying to be a fully present mother.
Yeah.
No, especially karon with education, the new normal, where you have to supervise your
the online
children's
classes.
online classes. Di lalim. But para nako, no, beyond the daily challenges of, you know, the daily challenges of balancing your life as a working mother is really the challenge of molding your children. You know, to have the right values, to arm them with the right tools to live their lives, you know, with a sense of purpose and, you know, to contribute eventually, you know, to society. So, muna siya, para nako. So, I'm always very conscious of that. To make sure sad na di pud ma-spoil ang mga bata, that they would be disciplined at gihapon, but at the same time, no, still have the opportunity to have fun as kids. And that helps me a lot in that.
On that note, Mayor, imo nang na-bring up, kinsa ang mas disciplinarian when it comes to parenting? Is it you or Congressman Duke? Kinsa yung mas stricto?
I think stricto mi duha, no? But murag mas maminaw ang kids ni Duke. Kay ako man good every day ko, no, magbadlong nila, don't do this, don't do that.
Yeah.
No, ani mo na. Then si Duke, usahay ra kayo siya mo kuan, manuyo, no? So, kung si Duke na gana maingon, no, maminaw na gina sila.
Serious na gina siya.
Yeah.
For our last segment, we will get to know more details about Mayor Christina Garcia Frasco here at Girl Talk. Thank Thank you so much for staying with us. We are still here with Liloan Mayor Christina Garcia Frasco. Mayor, I've always been wanting to ask you this question. You are a mom of 3 children, but it doesn't look that way. Unsa man gyud secret sa imong slim figure, Mayor? Please share with me. Is it to genes, or do you really try to maintain your figure through exercise or diet?
Yeah, I think it's a mixture of things, no? First, I have to thank my mother. Kay, you've seen her, no?
Yes.
And I think I have inherited her body frame and her metabolism. Yes. Unya, second, I'm not on a diet, no, regularly, but I do try to eat healthy. Except na lang siguro kung naay pista. Again, kay glitchon, no? Pero I do try to eat healthy. And every once in a while, I do yoga and rowing.
What's rowing, Mayor?
Meron siya rowing machine, and then you just pull on it.
Okay.
Like a full body
At
workout.
home?
At home, yes.
Asa ka tig-yoga, Mayor? Do you
At
go
home, Rasad.
magtanaw ra ka sa
Yeah, I just watch
mga vlogs or YouTube
yeah, I just watch
tutorials?
YouTube videos and
okay.
just follow it from there. I also am on the go all the time, no? So I think that's also part of it na kanang pirmi kong maglihok ba, I'm never really sedentary or naglingkod lang, no, the whole time, and I prefer it that way also. So that I think contributes also to the frame.
Yeah. Pero after giving birth, Mayor, like once your body has already fully recovered, do you like do it intentionally nga mag mubalik kasi mong figure or mag automatic or gid siya?
Di siya automatic yun, no. For my first pregnancy, I gained a lot of weight. But I found that with breastfeeding, you know, it actually really helped me lose a lot of weight. And with the challenges of balancing motherhood and work life, you know, murag wala na lang ka nakahibaw na mo na dito. You lost so much weight na di ay. I also drink a lot of water. The whole day, I'm actually drinking water.
Wow.
Yun. I'm
Manginom
never
na may
without.
tubig din.
Yeah. I'm never without water. Yun. Frasco water.
Yes.
So, kana sad, that really helps.
But with regards to food, you don't restrict yourself. Like, for example, dili ka tig no rice, no sweets.
I love rice. Actually.
Really?
Yes. Pero I try to eat a lot of vegetables. Si Duke is plant-based, no? So, yung main diet is vegetables. So, I try to
Vegan?
emulate that. Not really,
okay.
because once in a while, kaon siya fish, no?
Okay.
Kaon siya og beef every once in a while. For me, since I'm also making sure na well-balanced po ang diet sa kids, no? I make sure we eat a lot of vegetables. Every once in a while, meat and fish. Yeah.
Mayor, we already talked about your childhood, your education, your life as a mom, as a wife. Now let's talk about your time for yourself. Do you still have time for yourself? That is the ultimate question. And if you do, unsa man imong mga pamaagi to de-stress, unwind? Unsa imong typical me time activity?
Yeah. Well, to be completely honest with you, whenever I do have time to spare, I spend it with my children. No. So, me time is quite foreign for me. But when I do have that, no, typical girl stuff. I try to have my lashes done, or my nails done, or my hair done. I paint, yes, and I like to read books also. And every once in a while, watch a Netflix
Film.
series. Yes.
Unsa imong favorite sa Netflix so far?
So far, I've really enjoyed The Crown.
Yeah. Especially this season. Very
Yes,
controversial.
Very. And I think that's it so far sa Netflix. Yeah. I've also watched Versailles, Medici. You know, I really love history, so I like period films and mga series.
Mayor, earlier when I told you nga pang girl crush level imong peg, I'm not only talking about the looks, the face, but also your fashion style. Naa kay fashion icon nga gisunod, like when it comes to dressing up, or is there a look that you always want to maintain?
Okay. Well, there are certainly a lot of people that we can look up to as far as fashion is concerned, no? And mine ranges from Victoria Beckham to Claire Underwood in
Wow.
this House of Cards na series. No? To, let's say, I also really love the style of Queen Rania of Jordan. Kana. But generally, I think over the years, I've developed my own style in a sense that serves both fashion and substance. I hope, no? And lately, I've tried to be more conscious about my choices as far as it supports local fashion designers and fashion houses.
Do you have a favorite local designer?
Daghan kayo na talented local designers din sa Cebu, no? But more often than not, I wear Dino Loren. There's also RC Gayatin. She actually made my wedding dress, as well as my 10th wedding anniversary dress. Yeah. And of course, no, lately I've explored si Dexter Alasaz of Wear Cebu. In Manila, I really love Kaayo PH. It's indigenous wear, no, from Mindanao. So my fashion choices are quite varied. But these days, I try to wear as much local fashion as I can.
What's a typical day for you, Mayor, when you dress up for work? Are you the type of woman who takes a long time choosing your outfit for the day? Or magnanakadaan di andam, or you're not very that finicky when it comes to your wardrobe?
Surprisingly, I don't take a lot of time dressing up. I always bear in mind, though, the occasion. So, I always try to dress appropriately for the occasion. For example, kung moadto ko og field, no? I do field work sa atong mga barangay. Of course, give ko mag-high heels, no? Clearly. And I'm mostly, typically in jeans, no?
Yes.
And like a simple shirt or jacket. For more, kanang formal events, of course, that would take more time. No, I like to collaborate with the designers that I work with and give them my ideas, this and that. And typical office wear nako, no. I try to have a set of kanang
template na
versatile na mga items.
Okay.
Na aron di sa kayo overwhelming akong wardrobe, no. I have to have like, let's say, black pants is, quite typical in my wardrobe. And, a good barong. It's important for events. And, just having basic things, but inject your own style and personality.
When it comes to makeup, Mayor, do you do your own makeup?
I do, yes. I do my own makeup. That takes more time than it does dressing up. Especially the kilay kay, kilay is life, as they say. So, yes, I do my own makeup.
So you learned it on your own lang, sad?
No, I didn't. I learned it from Emmy Ayag, who's also one of the renowned na mga makeup artists in sa Cebu, no? Emmy has been doing my makeup since bata pa ko. So, and I took an interest in makeup also when I was very young because my mom used to have a salon in Ormoc.
Really?
Yes. So,
Sigog has a
playground na
salon.
namo ang kuan,
For
ang
how
salon.
long?
Taod gyud, a few years. Yeah, I think grade school ko adto. Yeah. So, bata pa lang ko, I was also surrounded by mga makeup artists, mga nana, yeah. So, I've been a student of that for quite some time.
I was looking through news archives about your history, Mayor, and then I came across this article about your appointment sa Capitol back then.
Yes.
Governor Gwen introduced you to the press, and then she said, you can call her Kikay. Is this a childhood nickname?
Yes, it was a childhood
Nga
nickname.
Kikay man nilang tawag sa imo?
Believe it or not, when I was a kid, I was quite a chubby kid.
Oh?
Yeah.
Really?
So, tawgon ko nila og tambukikay.
From the tambukikay nga
Correct.
word.
Shortened version ang kikay.
It's not the Kikay na kanang
Na markarte, ana, no, dili.
Di ko ka picture out ni mga chubby. Sige, Mayor. So, like what I mentioned kanina, natay gamay nga challenge.
Okay.
So this is called the random 20 portion. So we have
Okay.
random 20 questions. Don't worry, they're all wholesome.
Promise.
So kanilang, we will be asking you 20 questions that are just very random, and then you can just answer them in one word or two.
One word or
Yeah.
or three.
Yes. Ready na kami.
Sige, go.
Sige. Favorite color, Mayor?
Red.
Red. Favorite cuisine?
Italian.
One woman figure that you look up to aside from Governor Gwen?
That's living. You mean?
Living or pwede sad nga ni pass away na?
My grandmother, Esperanza Fiel Garcia.
Sweet or savory?
Savory, definitely.
Himarat ka, Mayor. Dagat or bukid?
Wow! Growing up, dagat. These days, bukid.
Pang chill na lang. If you would be reborn, what's that one profession that you'd always wanted to try?
Well, I wouldn't have it any other way than the trajectory of my career, from becoming a lawyer to becoming a public servant. Because my dreams of being an artist, I realized I can do in my free time, if any.
True. Celebrity crush?
Oh, wow. Does Duke count as a celebrity?
aside from Congressman Duke, pwede local, national, or pwede international?
Yeah, I only have eyes for one. That's Duke Frasco.
Relationship goals, good kaayo. One country that you've been wanting to visit?
Oh, visit or revisit?
Visit. Kanawa pa dyan mo na atuan, Mayor.
All right. I have always wanted to go to Morocco.
Favorite tourist spot in Cebu?
Daghan kayo!
But unsa lay top of the mind karon?
Yes, the latest one I've been to is the Cebu Safari. It's really world class,
Yeah.
very beautiful, something to be proud of, natong mga Cebuanon.
Your kids really enjoyed it.
Very much so, yes.
What is your phobia? Is there any? Like insects, phobia nimo, or one thing that you're really scared of? Heights?
Honestly, the fear of failure.
Really?
Yes.
One trait that turns you off?
Mediocrity.
Connected ra gyapon siya, Mayor. Favorite drink?
Favorite drink?
Yeah.
If it's not red wine, it's martini. Vodka martini.
What was your hated subject in school?
I tried to love math, but it never loved me back.
Same here. Favorite movie nimo, Mayor?
Favorite movie?
That you would not mind watching over and over again?
Yeah, there's so many. But what comes to mind is Love Actually.
Rainy or sunny?
Sunny.
Impulsive trips or organized vacations?
Definitely organized. I'm a very organized person.
One thing that you'd like to tick off your bucket list? Nawa pa nimo nabuhat?
Let me think. I would love to climb one of the highest peaks, of the Philippines with my family. I don't know why, pero wa pa na namo nabuhat, and that's something that I really want to do, like to be surrounded by
Nature.
Yeah, with my kids.
You're also really into mountain climbing?
Not really, pero that's an experience that I'd want to try. Yeah.
Soon. One of these days. Next question, Mayor. Jollibee or McDo?
Ooh, that's hard. Pero since let me think Jollibee for their chicken. Definitely.
And then,
Yeah.
McDo for
McDo for their
price.
kids' meals.
More than...
Mas nindot ang toys.
Okay.
Yeah, para sa kids.
What is your most favorite gift that Congressman Duke has given you since you were in a relationship?
His loyalty and his undying commitment to standing up for our family.
But if there's something tangible that you have in mind, aside from that, Mayor, if nalag ka ng work, di mo malimtan. Like, something,
Well, the engagement ring that he gave me when he asked me to marry him. Yes.
when was that, Mayor?
Kuan. Few months before, I think that was October 2008, if I'm not mistaken.
Curious lang ko, how did he propose?
We were in Manila at the time. Yes, we were in Manila at the time. He invited me to dinner. Yes. And then, we got to talking about the future. And wala ko kahibaw na nagplano na dito siya. No? Nagplano na dito siya. And then he popped the question.
During your dinner?
Yes.
Me? Last question, Mayor, para kanino ka bumabangon? Ja.
What? Well, family and country. Yes. My children, my husband, my family give me strength and service to my fellow men, to Liloan, to Cebu, and to our country. Gives me a sense of purpose.
Mayor, lastly, before we say goodbye to our viewers, what's that one motto in your life that you've always lived by and that you'd also want to share with everyone? Especially karon nung a lot of people have been feeling down these days because of the pandemic. So, unsa nang gusto nimo i-share sa ila?
Well, there's two, no? First, there's no substitute for preparation and hard work. Whatever gains you wish to have in your life, you must work hard for it. Because if you do, no, you may fail, but ultimately, ubunga ra gyud ang imong paningkamot. No? Second, especially in these very difficult times where our fellow Filipinos, our fellow Cebuanos have experienced so much hardship and suffering in the past 9 months or so.
Yes.
My message is one of hope, and that as long as naatay kinabuhi, no, naagi paglaom. There's no reason to give up hope because we are alive, we have our family, no, and no matter how alone we think we are in our struggles, we are never alone. No, we are na atong pamilya, na in the case of Liloan, no, na ang gobyerno para mutabang, no, and that we will be able to pull through and prevail with hope, with optimism and gratitude, and with faith in God, knowing na mahuman ra gyud ning tanan.
Yes.
We just have to forge forward and soldier on no matter what. Because personally, I've experienced that with the tragedies that have befallen our family. From the time na my mom was suspended in 2012 to so many cases being filed against her, me acting as one of her lawyers and living through that hell of persecution that we went through, and to live to see this day where justice was served, no, definitively in her favor, and our family name has been cleared, no, reminds me that bisag unsa pa kalisod imong giagian, no, nara gyud paglaom na mabot ra gyud ang panahon na mugawas ang kamatuoran, no, and that the Lord is always watching and will always make sure that as long as you give it your all, as long as you do your best, as long as you are kind and you work hard, you will always land on your own 2 feet. And
Thank you kaayo, Mayor. It has been a very wonderful time with you. Daghan kayong salamat for gracing us with your time and your presence today. We enjoyed our chat and nindot kaayo to know you on another side ba? Because we always see you sa mga news articles about politics na straight kid kaayo. But this time, it's nice to see the other side of Mayor Christina Frasco. Thank you so much. And if I would repeat the words that you've said, this really too shall pass, and that there is always hope as long as you work hard for the things that you dream for.
Yes.
Thank you kaayo, Mayor Christina. And of course, daghan sa ting salamat to all of our viewers here at My TV Cebu's Girl Talk. And in our next few episodes, we will be featuring more inspiring women leaders in Cebu. So please do not forget to follow and subscribe to our Facebook page and YouTube channel. This has been Andrea Patenya Matthew for Girl Talk.